Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, because it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Yes, as you can see right here, right in front of you, all of these skins rotated into Rustore just 2 days ago, and we're going to go ahead and keep track of their sales progress and figure out, are these skins still looking to be perfectly fine investments? Is everything okay? Are there potential problems? Are there potential wonderful positives that we need to be aware of? We're going to jump in, we're going to discuss all of that right now. So, first things first, what are we looking at? Well, this is a tweet. Every single week, with a brand new Rustore, after the first 24 hours of that Rustore taking place, I will take a screenshot on the sales from what we can see on semm.app, and I'll post it on Twitter. Now, the reason why I do this is so we can do some very nice comparisons to Rustores of the past. Namely, get a good look at that. Do you notice how Legacy Kevlar Tier 3 and Ninja AK-47 are selling quite a lot? We compare that to the week before, and you can quite clearly see that the numbers are very stupidly high compared to what we've seen previously over the past several weeks, over the course of the autumn-fall season. So, with the likes of last week, Neon Vibes Furnace had the most subscriber count, aka it had at least 7,472 bare minimum sales. You look over to here, and the Legacy Kevlar Face Mask has 24,417. It has more than 3 times the amount as the best performing skin after 24 hours last week. What? What? And it's not just that, of course, the chest plate as well, and the AK. That is insanity. But the funny thing is, these 3 skins right here, right? They're very high in terms of sales, but then it immediately drops off for the rest of the skins. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think loads of people are buying all 3 of these as a combination because it does look quite nice when you wear all of it all at the same time. I will give it that. And a lot of people seem to greatly appreciate the face mask due to the fact that, of course, it doesn't have any facial texture. It's quite deceiving. It's technically paid to win. From a distance, people aren't going to fully register or notice that you're actually wearing a face mask, if that makes sense to you. So a lot of people like that advantage. They're buying it, they're using it, they're enjoying it. You get the idea. But like I said, when you make comparisons to the sales that we had the previous week, well, you know, it's got like 7,000 here, almost 7,000 here, just under 6,000 sales here. You look at it over here, and well, you got like just over 6,000 here, then just under 6,000 here. So these skins are like normal, but these three are just insanity, all right? But that, of course, means that we have to take that into consideration in regards to, well, if they're selling stupidly high, maybe that might potentially be a bit of a problem. We need to discuss oversaturation. And I also need to point out, we are not going to fully know the amount of sales that Legacy Bow has, because it wasn't a skin made by a skin creator, it was made by Face Punch. That means we don't have a workshop page. We can't see subscriber counts. We can't reference bare minimum sales, aka subscriber counts. So that's a little bit awkward, but Legacy Bow should be in the Rustores for the rest of December. So the next Rustore, and the next Rustore, and the next Rustore. So if that happens to be what's going on, we'll slowly figure out how many are in circulation based on the amount that are listed on the Steam market, the amount that are listed on the likes of third-party sites. It's not too hard to understand. So let's jump in now. Let's start talking about the likes of the 48 hours, but there's a bit of a problem. You see, this Rustore rotated very early, and today I had to go out, I had to go see family. Oh, God, no. But I had to go see family. So what I did was I actually took a screenshot. This is the 48 hours of sales. So when we go over to the likes of SEMM in a bit, you'll notice there's been even more sales, but we can talk about that because it is actually a little bit late, like I've said. It's past midnight. So technically speaking, right now, it's been almost, it's like 58 hours. Yeah, 58 hours since the Rustore rotated. But this screenshot is definitely 100% 48 hours, all right? Understood? All good? So basically, Legacy Kevlar is doing insane numbers. That is straight up ridiculous, isn't it? And there's a bit of a problem in regards to this because with oversaturation, and if you don't know what that is, I'll explain right now. Picture this, right? There are people who will buy skins that genuinely want to use the skins. There is genuine demand. There are also people that will buy skins with the pure intent to sell. Understood? You got that all in your head? Right. So on average at the moment, we're probably doing about, apparently 70,000 average player counts based on every few months, over the past few months, right? You got that all in your head? So over the course of like September, October, November, and the beginning of December, we've been on average 70,000 player counts. During the day, you know, when people are actually playing, we've been going above 100,000, so that seems to be quite all right. But just keep this in mind. We're probably looking at potentially about 50,000 sales each for both of these skins. All right? You got that all understood? It's all in your head. Is that a perfectly appropriate amount? Is that like matching up to the genuine demand? Will there be at least 50,000 people that will want to use these pair of skins? And of course, you know, at some point, potentially, we could see the likes of Legacy Kevlar hoodie and pants and Legacy Kevlar Tier 2. Let's not rule out the possibilities of that, but please keep this in your head. We have to care about the quantity sold. All right, quantity sold, we got that? But like I've just mentioned, we actually have to talk about the likes of genuine demand. Now, if they match up perfectly fine, the skin will do all right for the, you know, over the course of the short term. It will most likely retain its value. Very nice, very cool. But if we have a problem such as too much quantity in terms of demand, you will have a lot of excess stock. Now, what's so bad about this? Well, people who buy in excess, aka the people trying to buy these and then sell them for a quick profit and whatnot, well, if we end up with excess stock, they're going to try and want to sell them for a profit. There will be an abundance of them on the Steam market and third-party sites, and if people get panicky, if people get a little bit worried, thinking, oh no, there's too much of these, I'm competing with other people trying to sell these and whatnot, because what will happen is people just keep undercutting, and the price will gradually start to go down. Well, that's where we end up seeing the likes of these skins go down in price because, as I said, with the excess amount of stock, it's just going to flood the likes of the third-party sites and, of course, the Steam market. There'll be far too many and there won't be enough people like buying them because they genuinely want to use them and whatnot. But we should also point out, once we reach around January time, we are expecting very high numbers. We are expecting a lot of people to return and a lot of people to want to buy skins. And, you know, demand is expected to increase. This is why we've made such a massive fuss over the past few months saying, yes, prices have gone down. A lot of people have left. They're not playing the game currently. But once we tend to see with the likes of the end of December, you will see the likes of a lot of people returning to play the game, and you will see the likes of all of these skins have a nice boost in demand and, of course, a nice increase in price. So we do have to take that also into consideration. I know I said a whole bunch of words there. I get it. I understand. But what I want to do now is I do want to hop over to the SEMM page. So 58 hours in, this is what we're at now. So over the course of, 10 hours, we've had an extra 2,000 sales. Are we slowing down? Probably, yes, we are. Potentially does look like that. But there was a collection that we can directly reference to, which was basically in the same position back in the summer when we had a lot of people playing. And let me just refer to that. So back in the summer, I'm talking June, July, August, there was a lot more people playing then compared to what we currently have at the moment. So let's now reference back to the likes of the Pirate Collection. You see the Pirate Collection, and you can go back to the past 48 hour sale, the past 48 hour videos that we've done, because we of course did talk about the likes of the Pirate Collection. It was very in demand. It was selling just as much as the likes of Legacy Kevlar Tier 3 here, back when it was in the Rust stores. These ended up selling on average between 50 to 60,000 sales. That's insanity, isn't it? But it was in demand, and it stayed in demand. And during the bad period, during the bad times, during the autumn fall seasonal dip, it persevered, it held up strong, the prices retained, and right now they're doing better. And around January time, we expect them to go even higher in price. Now, let's just get this across. This was very clearly in demand. It retained its value, and it's currently doing good, but it didn't do insane numbers. As you can see, on average, every single skin here has well above 100 quantity on the Steam market. On average, you can see Pirate Face Mask right there. There you go. Well, that's a perfectly fine thing to mention. On average, every single Rust skin on the Steam market would have about 100 quantity. If you have less than 100 quantity, it's got below average quantity, and therefore, it's a lot easier for it to rise up in price. If there happen to be a sudden, increase in demand, they'll get bought out, price increases easily because, slowly, little by little, all those quantities, all those listings disappear and the prices just easily go up in price. But when you look at the likes of something like the Pirate Face Mask, which has almost 300 quantity, well, do we have any big fat quantities? Do we have any bigger, fatter listings? So, well, I'll be honest with you, it's got a 4, it's got 2, it's got 9, it's got 14, it's got 11. after that, I mean, it's not that bad. It honestly looks like it could breeze through all the way up to about $2, like no issue. Like, honestly, you probably could make a nice little investment right here. The choice is yours, but what did we talk about the Pirate Collection earlier this year? What do we refer to it as? It's a budget blackout option. And when we look at the likes of the Legacy Kevlar, well, I did talk about this. I actually had a nice little picture. If I can't... Actually, I have it as a short video thumbnail over here. Do you see that? Do you see how the guy's sitting there with Legacy Kevlar with the Blackout Collection? Blends in very nicely, the Blackout Collection. The Legacy Kevlar is a little bit cheaper compared to the Blackout Tier 3. So maybe it instantly has a home. You could just pair it up with Blackout. And a lot of people greatly appreciate using the likes of this face mask because, as I said, it's deceptive. People can be tricked by it. So I can see it instantly being fine. I can instantly see it, people wanting to use it and pair it up with Blackout. So basically, I think it's going to do quite all right, but I am still a fair bit hesitant based on where the sales are going to end up at. Now, if it sells less than the Pirate Collection, I think it'll do fine. I don't imagine it's going to change the world. I don't imagine it's going to insanely increase in price. Maybe January, though, because I don't think we've got everybody back yet. I do want to talk more about this after we've discussed all the skins, but today we did actually peak for December. We reached up to 137,774 people playing at the same time, which was expected because we do tend to see a lot more people playing the game over the course of the weekend. So I just want to get this across. I don't think we've got everybody back yet. When you look back at how many people playing during the summer, we had a lot more. I'm still expecting all those people that have still not yet returned to return, and of course, they're going to be amazed at when they see these skins. AKA, I expect a lot of kids to return to play the game. That you shouldn't be surprised of. And of course, college students and whatnot. And also, with the likes of Christmas, a lot of people who work do have quite a fair bit of time off. So, yeah, it's usually, with December, the peak player count's actually at the end of the month. Again, we'll talk more about this towards the end of the video. So, I feel like I've said a lot. I've made reference to a lot of things, but there's one more thing that I want to reference, and it's the likes of the Whiteout collection. You know how when you look at the front page, you tend to see Whiteout always usually on the first page, second page, or third page? It's always in demand. People like it. People adore it. And it's always selling. It's always near here. Well, basically, have you actually looked at the Whiteout collection on scmm.app? Did you actually take a look and see how many of them sold back in early 2021? Well, they sold a ton. For example, for the subscriber counts for the likes of the Whiteout hoodie and pants is 76,525 and 75,212. What does that mean? Basically, at least 75,000 people bought these skins. Now, how many did they buy each? We don't know. We can estimate that it seems to be about 85,000 each for both of them. There's 85,000 pieces of the likes of Whiteout hoodie and pants out there. Now, instantly, you'd probably think, well, damn, that sold even more than the likes of the Pirate Collection. Surely it would suffer. Well, no. Gradually, over time, it's actually just kind of chipped away at the likes of its quantities, and it's managed to do very well for itself. There's only 31 of these on the Steam market. And I will assure you, 2 years ago, there was a lot more of them. There was a ton of these on the Steam market. But, like I said, because it was so in demand, gradually over time, it just kept getting chipped away. The quantities just kept disappearing. And it's done a whole lot better over time. Now, again, we should also take a look at the likes of the sales history, just to get this across. As you can see here, it's had a bit of a funny old time. So if I hide liquidity... Go back to the, yeah. So when it instantly came out, well, there were other pieces that are accepted, so it spiked in demand. It had some low points, as you can see here, during the autumn-fall seasons. Post-Christmas, went back up a bit, cooled off during the springtime, sprung back up towards the end of the year again, and then, yeah, so basically, it's had a bit of a weird history, had some very low lows, had some very high highs, and it's going back up high again. I refer to this as it's elevating to higher prices. Basically, initially, it sold for around $4, did very nice, but it didn't really go up that much. And then when it went down, it went down pretty hard. And when it went back up again, it didn't really recover instantly. But with every big return of many people playing the game again, it kind of elevated again to a higher level. And it's expected with this January, it's going to reach another higher level based on its price point. So potentially, with what we see here, it's probably, based on what I can see of the listings, going to reach up to $6, maybe above, and then it's always going to kind of be around $6. And then next year, it'll probably boost up to maybe 7 or 8, and then the year after that, keep going higher, because people always seem to want it, and the quantities just don't seem to be replenishing as much, even though, like we just said, both the hoodie and pants seem to have sold an absurd amount. I have found out that I've been ranting about this for about 10 minutes now, but I feel now you should kind of understand that with likes of Legacy Kevlar, if it does remain being special, if that face mask doesn't have any counterparts, if there's no other skin like it that comes out in the future, that should be fine. But this is where I also need to bring up the Twitch Rivals face mask. So I'm sure many of you are aware, Twitch Rivals begins on Monday, December 11, and we happen to have a free face mask skin, which is basically almost exactly the same as the likes of the Legacy Kevlar face mask. I might have passed it. Here we go. There it is. So this is the green... they refer to themselves as Team Rocket, but this is the green team face mask, and as you can see, it also doesn't have a facial. There's no facial texture. Now, it does have the strap. I think a lot of people might make a bit of a fuss about this, but at the end of the day, you're not instantly going to notice the strap. You're probably looking at it and thinking, well, I'd rather just get that because it's for free. A lot of people will be getting that for free. You're probably going to see that maybe getting about 200,000 people claiming it, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. So, with that coming out this Monday, would that potentially cool down the sales of what we've been seeing for Legacy Kevlar? What do you reckon? And if that does happen, maybe Legacy Kevlar doesn't sell insanely. Maybe it doesn't even match up to the likes of the Pirate Collection, and then therefore, with not as many in circulation, but remaining to be a very in-demand skin, it actually rises up in price very easily. And like I said, we are still expecting a significant chunk of people to return to play the game. I am still hopeful. Maybe you could call it cope. I still potentially could see us beating January 2023's 95,000 average player count. And of course, that also peaked at 176,000. So with more people still expected to return, maybe things actually might work out all right for the likes of this Tier 3 armor. I'm sorry for the very long ramble, but do you have all that context? Do you understand the whole everything I've just said? So long-term aspect, it could gradually just nicely rise up in price. I'm a little bit more concerned about the short term. So, of course, I've made mention of the Twitch drop. That's going to be available to everybody for free. You just have to go onto Twitch, make sure your Twitch is linked with your Steam account, watch 2 hours of the team of the green team's captain, and then, yeah, you got that skin. Will that put off sales of this? We're going to have to wait and see, aren't we? Awkwardly. Now, with these two skins, they're both abnormal, all right? So with that, we know that these two skins are going to become marketable at an earlier set time, next Wednesday night, of course. We're going to go ahead and do our buy orders. We'll look at the buy order support afterwards, and we'll make a consideration. Well, let's say if the buy orders go all the way up to $2.50, then I'll be honest with you, just jump in, just go buy some. Just go buy some. I do think this is going to probably work out very well. I don't think it's going to do 50k sales. If it does, we'll have to take that in consideration when we figure out prices on the likes of Wednesday night. Of course, I'll be streaming then. Look in the description of this video. You'll see all my socials, my links to the likes of my Discord, my Twitter, my Twitch, and other bits. But yeah, I'm looking at that, and I think we've got more positives compared to negatives. And as I said earlier, it's the potential beginning of a Legacy Kevlar collection. Will Kosem, the skin creator, make hoodie and pants? Will he make Tier 2 boots and gloves? We shall see. We'll have to wait and see. But the sales are absurd. They're very absurd. So it does look like it's just matching up to the likes of the Pirate Collection sales, which we found out wasn't too bad. So from here and now, will this remain to be the only pay-to-win face mask like that? I'm sure many of you are aware of the likes of the kayak mask, but that's got a bright orange top, so that's a little bit more noticeable from like a long distance away, and it doesn't seem to have really changed that much. Yeah, I mean, we saw the new face mask come out, the Legacy Kevlar, but this hasn't actually changed price. Maybe this will change price when the Twitch drop appears, because tons of people have basically the same thing, but of course with a green top instead of an orange. I could see Legacy Kevlar face mask potentially going down. So if you watch this video and you own one of them, I think it's probably best to just sell it just in case. Like, honestly, Is it really worth holding on to? Is it really worth the risk? So I'm sure we got that all said and done. 15-minute ramble about the Legacy Kevlar. But you know what? That's what you watch me for. You want to be aware of every single possible thing that could happen. You want to be aware of all the context. I feel like we've said more than enough. So with what you do from here and now, by all means, the best option probably will be just to wait it out a fair bit. But I kind of wouldn't be surprised we have an early Rustor rotation on Thursday for the first Christmas Rustor. So again, right, so at the end of the day, if you like it, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creator. But I wouldn't be surprised if you end up buying these to try and see what happens. So we're just going to have to wait and see for the rest of this month. Will loads of people return to play the game? I'm sure they will. So it's just a waiting game. Let's move on. Ninja AR, or AK-47. So based on this coming out, I feel like loads of people just instantly thought that was going to match up perfectly with it, so they bought that as well. Like, if this came out in any other Rustor, I don't think it would have done this many sales. So, here is the Ninja AR, also known as the Ninja AK-47. As we get a good look at it, it's basically all black, and when you aim down the sight, you got a very sinister ninja face staring at you, which does look very cool. Now, when you aim down the sight, you'll also notice it does have a white aim sight tip. It should be useful for most environments, maybe not the Arctic area, but do you think that blends in ever so nicely with the likes of our Blackout collections, Pirate collections, Black Gold collections, Dragon Rage collections, and of course Legacy Kevlar? I'm under the assumption that a lot of people do see that, but I did make a very notable reference. So if you go back over to here, I'm under the assumption that a lot of people are thinking, oh yeah, this is a budget Blackout AK. And of course, if you go look for that the Blackout AK-47, which is down here somewhere, which is actually going to take a while to find, so why not just go by highest price? That would have been smarter, Hedge. Here we go. Scroll up a fair bit, and where's the Blackout AK? There he is. Yes, he's selling for $12 at the moment. Around January time, he's probably going to go up by at least 50%, so maybe it'll be just under $20 by then. But yeah, that's quite expensive. Not a lot of people can afford $12. Understood. We got that all nice and clear. So instantly, with this selling for about a quarter of the price, you should be surprised that loads of people want it. And like I said, it seems to pair up perfectly nice with the likes of all the Blackout, the Blackout alternatives and Blackout collections. So yeah, I'm not surprised it sold a lot. And again, I feel like a lot of people felt the push to buy it because this came out at the same time, an alternate Blackout option. So what do we think? Do you know what I personally think? You could get an even cheaper option right now. No, you don't have to go by the likes of this. What did I make a fuss about earlier this year? When I was talking about the Pirate collection, I was talking about the Pirate AK, didn't I? So here's the Pirate AK. You can see this right now. It's only selling for $1.50, $1 cheaper than that Ninja AK. And okay, so Hedge has made a fuss about this, but what's so special? Okay, so when you look at this, you might sit there and say, but Hedge, it's got some white bits and whatnot. Well, do you know what? The Ninja AK has like some very noticeable metallic parts that you can see. But when you aim down the sight on this one, you have a very useful red aim sight. All right? And X marks the spot. But when you look at the Blackout AK, that also has a very useful red aim sight. The Ninja AR has a white one. So with the likes of this, you can use this in all environments. When you're in the snowy areas with the likes of the Ninja AR, it's got a white one. Now, I haven't actually checked to see if it also has a bit of like a hybrid white-black tip. Feel free to have a go at me if I haven't got that right. But with the likes of what I see here, I am a little bit worried for it because it is looking like it's selling an absurd amount. It is looking like this might suffer. No, how could you say that? Because, you know, what have we been talking about for all of this year? The amount of AK-47s we've seen being given to us, I guess you could say, because it's not just the marketable ones, it's also the Twitch drops and whatnot. And of course, over the course of next week, we've got 3 Twitch drops to receive. We've got Pam Potts, Dylan Zito and Al Capone, and then of course Delicard's AK-47s. These 3 AKs will be given to you for free. All you need to do is just watch them on stream for about 2 hours, and that's it. Job done. And of course, you might sit there and say, but they're not full black. Understood, but maybe some people bought this just because they thought it looks like a very nice AK. You do have to take into consideration other people, because other people buy things as well, and other people can tend to be a little bit reckless and stupid. So then we also have, of course, we have the Nutcracker AK, the Twitchmas AR, which is going to be given away for free after Twitch Rivals. Basically, my answer to you is, do you honestly not think we're going to see another whole batch of AKs being accepted next year. Are you honestly not surprised to hear the idea of the possibility that we might have another full black AK coming out next year? Yeah, keep that in mind. So, I am very hesitant with this. Is it in demand? Yes. Could there potentially be another AK that might sway a load of people and then suddenly they don't care about that AK and want to get the new shiny AK that comes out? Yes. That happens every single week. There's always another AK. People aren't loyal to their AK-47s. They will unload them on the Steam market as soon as they can. So, alright. Feel free to comment your thoughts. Do you like that a whole lot more compared to the Blackout AK? Do you like it a whole lot more compared to the Pirate AK? It's much more affordable compared to the Blackout AK, but it's $1 more compared to the Pirate AK. The choice is yours. It's up to you with what you do with your money, but that is also abnormal. This skin will be appearing at an earlier time, Wednesday night, going into Thursday morning, midnight UK time. With the likes of this, I'd rather do my abnormal barders first. Yeah, I'm very unsure. If that does 40k sales, I can't help but think that's going to get cheap, or cheaper than its Rustall price. But of course, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it just instantly does all right because post-Christmas is literally just around the corner. So it might actually just retain its value. And of course, the likes of the Pirate AK would still go up in price, and the Blackout AK would still go up in price, because all skins are expected to go up in price when we see a lot more people return to play the game. Understood? So I feel like the smarter option is to just wait it out, wait until Wednesday, abnormal barders first, and then of course look at the sport afterwards, then make decisions. Sounds good? Understood? Shall we move on? Copper M249. So this has not sold an absurd amount, especially when you compare it to the likes of these three. It's very, grounded. But we do have to take a look at the likes of all the M249s that came out, because of course, over the past 2 years, they are not doing good. So this is an awkward issue based on gun demand. How often are people actually using the M249? And if a lot of people right now are sitting there saying, well, I don't really use it that much, well, there you go. If people aren't using the gun enough, where's the demand to you own a skin and use the skin? If you're not really using the weapon that much, you probably don't really desire to have that many skins for it. And therefore, with hardly any gun demand, there's hardly any demand for skins, and therefore lower skin prices because people are undercutting each other trying to make a sale. It's awkward, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I know. It's sad. But yeah, you can look at that right now. We don't even really have any recent M249 that's come out that's instantly done alright. Now, some of them aren't really too bad. They're only down by like 20-30%, and there's not really many of them on the Steam market. But there's also not that much demand for them. The Redemption M249, for example, is probably one of the cheapest Redemption weapons that we have in the full collection. So that kind of like sets a tone, sets a point. I could go a little bit lower. You do have Rainbow Pony doing quite all right there. But yeah, another batch here, and they're just not doing good. Sad. So unfortunately, even though it's part of a well-established collection made by the likes of Mr. Duck, who's been very prominent over the past few years, I just can't imagine it's going to be doing all right. I think that's going to end up being a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. Yeah. But, of course, with likes of post-Christmas, maybe it might hold up. Maybe it might sell for a fair bit better, but I can't help but think it's going to go below its Rustall price. So yeah, buy order is going to probably be the better option. It's also not abnormal. All right? So, yeah, 70 cent, 90 cents. Moving on, we have the likes of the Ronin hoodie and pants, and this is the final core piece to be accepted for the likes of the Ronin collection. Yes, we got the Tier 3, we got the Tier 2, and of course now we have the hoodie and pants. So I was expecting this to happen. If you aren't fully aware, the Ronin hoodie and pants, well, you can see it right here, it waited 6 weeks to be accepted. Now, for the final Rustall, before we have a whole bunch of Christmas Rustalls, this is something we do tend to see quite a lot of. Basically, before, like the very last Rustall before Halloween and the very last Rustall before Christmas, we do tend to see a lot of late picks. AKA, quite a lot of these skins that you see here have been in the workshop for quite some time. For example, this was in here for this was in the workshop for 6 weeks, this was in the workshop for 5 weeks, this was in the workshop for 3 weeks going up to about a month, and then we have a whole bunch of typical picks, basically the skins you'd see in the likes of TGG's top picks lists. Yeah, so That was very nice to see. It was quite a surprise to a lot of people, and a lot of people did jump in and buy out some Ronin skins. Of course, with the new core piece being accepted, the pre-existing core pieces would rise up in price. Spike in demand, spike in price. Now, Tier 3, unfortunately, it's still sold a whole lot more compared to the likes of Tier 2, but with the likes of what we're seeing here of the Ronin hoodie and pants, it does look like it's going to match up to the likes of the Tier 3, because, of course, with the bare minimum sales that we see right now, it's already matched up to the likes of the kilt. Almost. We're getting there, but it will surpass the kilt sales. So if this ends up matching up closer to the likes of Tier 3, that Tier 3 armor very likely could be doing better in the future. And we also have to bring this up. What do you think about the Ronin collection? Do you like the design of it? Do you want to roam around and wear Ronin collection? Thank you to the person who mentioned it. Feudal Japanese style. Is it to your taste? Do you like what you see? I'm not sitting here hating on it. We have to consider, are there loads of people out there that want to use this? Are there loads of people that want to run around and, enjoy it? Buy it. Is there demand for that? So we've had to question that recently with the likes of Hardsuit collection, because that just finished, didn't it? Are people actively going to want to buy this? And if we can't really think yes, then, well, don't you think this might struggle then, the hoodie and pants? Now, at the moment, I do think people do like it. I do think people are fully involved in wanting more of it. As you can see, we've been getting weapons as well. With the likes of Bad Trip, I'm pretty sure we will be seeing more weapons being made. Maybe we'll get another attempt at the boots. Who knows? We shall see. But the likes of that, I think, at the very least, they will be retaining their value. With the likes of post-Christmas just around the corner, will the collection get a nice bump in demand? Will people want to run around with those very cool face masks and whatnot? Fingers crossed they do. Fingers crossed. But as of now, I'd rather wait till Wednesday, look at the sales, see if they match up to the Tier 3 armor, and if they do, then I'd probably put down a much stronger buy order. But I'm not 100% convinced if I want to actually jump in and make a purchase. But one person did bring up a very cool idea. They've been using Ronin hoodie and pants to pair up with the likes of Redemption Tier 3. And that does sound like a very good pairing, because Redemption Tier 3 unfortunately doesn't have Tier 2 and it doesn't have hoodie and pants. So that's a nice thing to consider. And if you think a lot of people are going to be wanting to use the likes of Redemption Tier 3 around January time, well, what do you think? And so with that, we'll move on. We had the likes of the Antique Sword, Salvaged Sword to be precise. Salvaged Sword skins over the past 2 years, how have they behaved? Yeah. So, yeah. It's like the M249s. It's like the M249, I'm sorry. But, yeah, not on demand. They all have very cool transparent designs, in the various different ways they've utilised that, but people don't seem to care for the skins. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, that is not too hard to consider. The Savage Sword skins just dropped down to $1. Now, however, will things change when we reach January time? I don't know. I have to keep track of this, won't I? But point made, they weren't in demand during this year. They're not in demand right now. Maybe they might bump up to a slightly higher price than what they're currently at the moment. But all of these recent Savage Sword skins, they're all around $1. Few of them below $1. That's not good. This is looking to be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. Like I have said many times in the past, it doesn't matter. Look, at the end of the day, if you happen to like the skin, if you like what you see, if you are a fan of this, by all means buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support the skin creator. Keep them motivated to keep wanting to make very nice, cool looking creative designs in the future. But if you're looking at this with a financial perspective, considering if you want to buy like 100 of them and whatnot, yeah, you do have to take that into consideration. It's definitely looking to be a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. Awkward, I know. Sorry, it is what it is, but yeah, that's going to very likely be where it's going to end up at. So let's now move on. A legacy bow. So, like I've said, this is a this is a face punch made skin, and there's no workshop page. There is nothing we can really do to track the amount of sales. Now, SCMM can try its best. It can look at all the people that allow themselves to be seen by SCMM, where it can count up all the skins that have been owned by people in their inventories. It will also start to count up all the ones it sees in the likes of the Steam market when they're listed there and whatnot. So with the likes of that, I do think that we'll probably get a much better picture of this as time goes on, because this is apparently supposed to persist in the Rust stores throughout all of December. It said so in the community blog post, or rather the blog post for every Force swipe. So they mentioned, hey, we got a whole bunch of legacy skins, and they mentioned the legacy bow. They said it's on for sale, and they said it's on for sale for every Rust store during December. That was their word, Face Puncher's word. So I'll be honest with you, I'll be brutally honest with you, I won't be surprised if this is actually the 4th best selling skin this week. SMM is following its rules, in which it's only ordering these based on what it can see, and it can't see every single account. All right, there's a lot of private accounts out there and whatnot, so I can't help but think this is actually the 4th best selling skin. And I think with this being around throughout all of December, it's going to sell a lot more. I don't think it's going to retain its value. I think it will be going below $3.49. You might sit there and say, Hedge, but loads of people very likely will be appearing during January and want to buy it and use it. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to work out right. But I can't help but think this has probably also done about 20 or 30,000 sales as well. Like, a lot of people have been using this. I've seen it in game. I was playing. Go take a look at my most recent short. I met the most happiest Rust player of all. It's only 20 seconds long. What a moody little... He was fed up with everything, and he was fed up with me. I only welcomed him. I said, welcome to Rust. And he was like, shut up, I've had 900 hours. As if that's anything. Anyway, moving on. Basically, I'm a little bit hesitant. It, by default, is abnormal, so we have that to our advantage. But we can't do anything until Wednesday, can we? So we'll do our buy orders, we'll look at the support, and then we'll consider if we actually want to jump in and buy into it. But I can't help but think people probably only go up to about maybe like $2 for a buy order. Now, of course, in the future, will we see anything like that ever being made again for the likes of the hunting bows? I don't think so. And I can see it doing better than the likes of the hunting bow skins, because it's quite literally completely unique, isn't it? But, yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to retain the price that it sells for. Who knows? We shall see. But January could be a massive change and people just buy it out regardless. So, yeah, especially when it's cheaper. The expectation is I think it will be cheaper than its Rust store price. So, yeah, abnormal. Meet me on Wednesday night. I'll be streaming. We'll chase after it. And then, of course, we'll figure out what we do from there. Sounds good? So, yeah, that was everything. There's only 8 skins this week. I spent about 20 minutes of this video talking about these 2 skins, but I'm sure you can understand we had to talk a lot about that based on that very likely will be the thing that makes the best profit from here on now in the future. That makes sense to all of you. Now, I kept alluding to this. I need to talk about the likes of the peak player counts and whatnot. So someone came up to me and he said, Hedge... So this was earlier this week, of course, just a few days ago. They said, Hedge, our peak player count for 2023 is weaker compared to 2022. And as of now, that's still correct, only off by about 1,000. And a 1,000 player difference isn't that much, so let's just rule that out. But there was also another thing that I noticed, all right? And I actually mentioned it a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if you caught on. I have to look at SteamDB for this one. Basically... I actually went back and looked into the past because I wanted to figure out when exactly did that peak player count happen? When exactly was the peak player count for December 2022? So I'm here on SteamDB, and it had a much better increment of looking at like the difference of player count quite literally every week, and the peak actually happened at the very end of December post Christmas. Yes, so for December 2022, the peak happened one day after Christmas. So I can't help but think that we still haven't even peaked for this month. So yeah, earlier today we reached around 138,000, just under. But do keep this all in mind. We very likely will be seeing everything roll out just as normal. And last year's post-Christmas was phenomenal. Or earlier this year's post-Christmas. Earlier, it's 2023. And it was phenomenal. It went on for about 2 months, a lot longer than I was expecting. But you do have to keep in mind, Counter-Strike 2 is having its first major in March of 2024, Copenhagen 2024. I can't help but think that's going to really kind of cause everything to full stop, block it, and then price go down pretty hard. So sell your skins whilst you can. But everything still looks to be perfectly fine. Now you might be sitting there and say, Hedge, what about the Christmas skins? They haven't been changing that much. True. That is actually very true. So the front page isn't going to change right now, but periodically I have been noticing some Christmas skins appearing on the front page. But they look like they're selling to the highest buy order, which would mean the value isn't going up, it's actually going down a fair bit. So my last straw is next week for the first Christmas rush store. That is where I think we're actually going to notice a lot more people hyped up with Christmas and wanting to buy Christmas skins. Now, as I've already said, we got Twitch Rivals taking place. I also feel like this is going to give a big boost to the likes of people wanting to play Rust. A lot of people are going to be watching this, of course, to get the skins, but also watch the event and enjoy themselves. But after watching it all go down and whatnot, they're probably going to feel a lot more invigorated to want to play the game. So next week, we have Twitch Rivals and the first Christmas Rust store, and the Christmas content is actually coming out on the Saturday next weekend. So the 16th of December. Very weirdly Saturday, but hey, at the end of the day, it does appear most people play, of course, over the weekend, because, no school and whatnot. So yeah, it's actually looking like it's going to be, halfway through December where we actually notice a lot of people wanting to buy in all the Christmas skins and whatnot. Now, we did notice in, Decembers of the past that a lot of Christmas skins actually reached their peak prices halfway through December. Well, guess what happens halfway through December? The first Christmas Rust stores. So that is my answer. That is where I do think we're going to start to see the actual proper increase in demand. Now, there have been demand increases, but the prices just haven't really gone up much. And I have noticed a lot of people have given up. That's not too hard to notice. But when there is demand, an increase in demand, we should be seeing things improve. Now, don't rule out the possibility that we might be seeing some continuations and whatnot. Again, let's go take a look at the likes of the workshop. So let's go over to here. Where am I going? Sorry, okay. So as you can see here, this is the main Rust workshop page. All right. If you want to go see where all the Christmas submissions have ended up at, we want to hover over Browse and you want to click Collections. And this is where you will see Holiday 2023 contest entries closed. This is TGG's collection. I probably will be doing a Rust Workshop skin checks video going over this, but not like a normal video. I'll only bring up the continuations and I'll talk about what's likely to go down with Christmas skins and investments and whatnot. So that'll be coming out in a few days' time. So basically, this is TGG's list. This is official. Say thank you to him if you can. There are 167 submissions. This big fat list of Rust skins that you see right here is going to have 2 Rust stores made out of it. So over the course of the next Rust store and the Rust store after that, get a good look at all of these skins. Which of these skins do you reckon will be the skins that will be picked for those 2 Rust stores? We got a lot of fridges, by the way. Very cool looking fridges. I would not be surprised if that Frosty's fridge potentially gets accepted. But the likes of the Christmas card fridge and the Nutcracker fridge, also very, very good designs. Like, there's some very cool things. And you shouldn't be surprised. There's a reasonable amount of gingerbread skins that have been submitted because, of course, we are fully well aware. Oh, cool. I didn't notice this one. Spinoza, you've come in clutch. Oh, mate, that's got to be accepted. Like, out of all the possible designs you could think of, for like a bearskin rug skin, a gingerbread one, that's got to be accepted. There has to be. So basically, as I was alluding to, the gingerbread building skin is going to be introduced when the Christmas content is added. And all our Christmas-themed gingerbread skins very likely will be spiking in demand, spiking in price. But from what I can see here, as an example, FaZe, the man behind all of the other gingerbread door skins that we've seen over the past few years, he's gone ahead and made a double wooden door skin. Yes, the collection grows. So yeah, there's a lot of very interesting skins here. Please consider taking a look at all of them. Please show your support. If you happen to like any of them, show your support. Vote yes or no. And yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do to take a look. Very nice. Got to show the penguin. Surely you need Pingu in your life. Surely you just want to hold him and love him and go on wonderful adventures with him. So yeah, loads of cool weapons. I saw a longsword. We haven't had a longsword skin in forever. That's been like 7 years. So I hope to see that potentially being accepted. And yeah, there you go. Very nice. Very nice batch of skins. Once again, I should say, please say thanks to the likes of Mr. TGG for, grabbing all of those, putting them in a nice, neat order for all of you to take a look at. And there's one final thing that I need to discuss. Christmas Rust stores. So if we just go back to the past, if you happen to own any festive garlands, if you happen to own any deluxe Christmas lights, and, a lot of other various Christmas items, so here we are, we're talking about all of these, you should be well aware that with the likes of garlands, actually it's looking just to be garlands. Yeah, garlands and deluxe Christmas lights. You probably want to sell them now. Because, more specifically, with the likes of festive garlands, well, they are going to get reintroduced, and they're going to be sold at $3.49. The price of garlands are going to go down. Oh, yes, they are. So, maybe you want to wait out for the likes of Twitch rivals, see if we get a nice boost in demand for the likes of Christmas skins, with loads of people feel invigorated to want to jump back in and whatnot. But, yeah, you probably want to sell them sooner rather than later, because once it's Thursday, and the first Christmas rush store appears, they're going down in price by about a quarter of what it's selling for at the moment. Sounds good? Understood? You're good? Perfect. Right. Now, there have been mentions. I haven't been seeing any recent mentions. With the likes of commits, we did see mentions of a Santa mask. Now, we have another week to go until we actually have the Christmas in-game content being added. Over the course of the next week, keep an eye on the commits, because they're brewing something. I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 if they're going to actually get that Santa mask out in time. But if we do get a brand new Christmas item, will one of these Christmas items be omitted? Will they not be brought back? AKA not reintroduced. Now, as you are aware, Christmas lights and giant candy decor, they haven't been brought back for a long time. It'll be very funny, especially for the 10th anniversary, if they bring them back. However, maybe, Face Punch, if you watch me, here's a cool idea. Look, just sell the Christmas lights for $150 in the Rust store, and all proceeds can go towards, like, children's charities or something. Fuck it, just do it, you know. People aren't going to complain if it's $150. Yeah, it's a bit cheaper than what it is now, but screw it. Let's go get some sales. Go get some money, all for a good cause. So, yeah, it would be funny if they brought them back, but if they're super cheap, probably not for all the people that invest into them, having a whole bunch of them, you know, because that's very expensive, isn't it? But, yeah, maybe an item might be omitted if a brand new item is going to appear. And if we have a Santa mask, I can't help but think the Santa beard might be removed from being brought back, because you can't wear a beard with a mask, and a mask is very likely going to have a beard painted on anyway. So, what do you think? Feel free to comment in regards to anything I brought up in this video and whatnot. I have rambled for about just over 45 minutes, but I hope it was all insightful. I hope it was all helpful. Christmas rush skins have been a fair bit awkward, but it very likely will all kick off when we actually have the first Christmas rush store appearing over the course of the next few days. So I hope you enjoy Twitch Rivals. I hope you enjoy the upcoming Christmas content, rush store, and the in-game stuff. And with that, yeah, that's basically it. I think we're all done. I can actually look at the front page now and see if there's anything that's changed. Deluxe Christmas lights, festive garlands, not surprised, not surprised. What about on the second page? What do we see here? A lantern. Actually, lanterns do always go up in price around January time. You shouldn't be surprised by that. Consider buying some, because I wouldn't be surprised they go up by at least 50%. And what else do we have here? Usual suspects, whiteout, comics, blackout. Yeah, not surprised by that. So yeah, I guess we're done. I think we've basically said all we needed to say. Don't forget, support streamer is still going on over the course of December until, of course, January time. So the very second we reach January 1st, in the UK at least, that is when this all stops. So if you're wondering, do I really want to get this desktop? Feel free to gift 2 subs to me. You do have to give at least 2 tier 1 subs to be able to get that desktop. If you're not that fast, fair enough. But if you are inclined to consider wanting to get that, then I'm okay for it. I've had a lot of people do that. A lot of people did come to my stream. They said hello. I like your videos. They gifted 2 subs, guys. I'm very grateful for that. I do greatly appreciate it. I do hope my videos have been very helpful for all of you over the course of this year. But yeah, like I also went and got this as well for myself. I donated to a streamer who kept donating to me throughout all of this year. He kept giving me 100 bits randomly every stream, every now and then. So I just thought, oh well, you paid basically for 2 subs. I'll just go give it back to you. Thank you very much, Perilous. Much appreciated. So yeah, that's basically it. We're all done. So thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the weekend. Let's see if we can make some sweet, delicious looking profits. And yeah. So I will most likely see all of you, maybe Tuesday. No, Wednesday. I need to consider what videos I'm making. I might make a separate Christmas video. I will basically bring up the points I've said, but yeah. I doubt a ton of people are going to watch the full video that I've got here. Like I was basically almost finished a minute ago, and now I've still kept talking, haven't I? So I will point this out. I will be dressing up as Santa. on December 14th, Restore Rotation stream. All right, so this Thursday, I will be dressing up as Santa. I've got the full kit. It's all over there. And if you're going to come hop in, say hello, laugh at me because I'm going to look ridiculous, by all means, you're more than welcome to. You'd probably laugh at me anyway. But yeah, my stream, we had a goal. They met it. So I got to go full Santa mode. And yeah, I got to do a Restore Rotation video dressed up as Santa. Maybe I could lean into a whole bunch of jokes and whatnot. That might be a little bit funny. So if you want to come have a laugh and whatnot, feel free to hop in. And at some point, I have to do a Christmas giveaway as well. My stream also donated a ton of bits on Twitch. And I will be doing a big fat stream dressed up as Santa, doing a big fat bunch of giveaways. So yeah, that's basically it. And with that, thank you very much for watching me. I can finally wrap this up. Have a lovely day, have a lovely evening, have a lovely December, have a lovely weekend, and go get those profits. Catch you later. See you, goodbye.